Hey YouTubers, how you doing? It's been a while since I have been here. If you're new to my page, I am Natural Mystic and I am CEO, founder, creator of a group called Bouncing Back. And I would say that I'm bouncing back from bankruptcy to blessed is what it is that I say, or to a blissful way of living. And this is a update that I've not done in such a long time, and it's more to do with what's going on up here. I have been recording a bit of a lock journey. I've had my locks now for nearly, I think 15 years, nearly 14 and a half years. I've kind of semi-maintained them in regards to keeping them tidy for work. I've not always covered my head, I've not always kept it uncovered, that sort of thing. Not one for overly retwisting, and I suffered with alopecia. Traction, tension, alopecia, whatever you'd like to call it, for a number of years. And it was all brought on by stress, ill health, depression, not looking after myself, real bad maintenance of my overall internal self and externally. And the place that it showed was mainly my face, my eyes, my skin, but predominantly my hair. So, like I said, I've not done an update for you all in my Locs of Luv journey for quite some time, and I was talking about things that I'd be doing to try and help regrow, stimulate, and encourage healthy regrowth in regards to mainly my edges, but yeah, still concentrating on my scalp as a whole. But the target area, focus area, was the actual edges, the whole outline around my head. And during the winter, what I found is that my hair growth changes, my hair texture changes. There's a lot of changes depending on the seasons. I tend to keep it covered more as well, is what I would say. During the winter, just because my head gets cold. In general, to be quite honest with you, I've not retwisted my locks for over 18 months, definitely. In the last 12 months, haven't touched it. It's been washed, it's been greased, and I've been implementing some new routines, supplements, hair greases, hair lotions, hair moisturizers, scalp stimulators, that sort of thing. So this is a little bit of a reveal of my progress. Basically, it's been a good I think 6 months ish since I started recording, roughly. Maybe a bit not, maybe a bit less, maybe about 4 months, but definitely a good few months. And the reason why I'm showing you all of this now is because I've actually just got myself a new tool. I'm not one for going to locticians or to hair care specialists to actually get my hair done, purely because I've been embarrassed of the fact that I've got bald patches and thinning edges, and when they're trying to style it, I think that they might find it difficult to sort of cover the areas that I feel insecure about, that make me feel self-conscious. And then not only that, when it is styled, people do notice that there are significant areas that are very smooth, that are hairless, and where there's no lock at all, and where it's tried to be covered with other locks, for example, to try and disguise the fact that it was so thin and so bald, and just looked like angry and aggressive, because the skin on the scalp was scarred, and you can see that the new hair follicles just don't stand a chance. So I invested in some bits and pieces, as in hair care equipment and tools and things like that. So I'm going to actually going to be doing some interlocking, but I'm going to do it at home. Because I want to kind of resize some of the locks that I've got. I want to take some out. It's going to look quite a lot different by the time I finish going through this next stage of my journey. So with all that being said, here goes. I think it's about time that I showed you all a little bit of the progress, and I will do an update with who I've been inspired by, who's encouraged me, what tips and things that I've taken on board. So as you can see, I've just been kept in a bun, no pins or anything, just wrapped and tucked in on itself. The weight of it is just so much different. Keeping it here, little hairnet that just keeps it all in place, and then just a bandana just to keep the hairnet on. what I've noticed is that if I keep things too tight, it was eating away and pulling an awful lot. So it was just learning a process of how to re-wrap my head so it wasn't heavy, so it didn't hurt my neck, didn't like aggravate my back anymore and across my shoulders, didn't give me headaches where it was pulling on the front. There's like so many things that I've had to take into consideration on this journey, whereas before I just stuck a headscarf on and went and just really didn't think about what I was doing to my head, to my scalp, to my So, apologies. Part 2. Here we go. So I was about to do the reveal. So, I don't know if you remember how things were when I first started. So we'll just do a little bit of an unraveling. And yes, it's still quite long. So as you can see, what's been going on basically. As you can see, it needs a good retwist, bit of separating and washing. But what I've been doing, as you can tell, is that I've attached a couple of new ones. So all of that regrowth that I had round the front, I'm just going to try and get it to a stage where you can all see what's been happening. I think this was the worst bit round here, wasn't it? This was really, really, really thin, especially in this section. So you can kind of see that there's hair coming back. So that's a difference. So there's the middle of my scalp where you literally can't see any scalp at all. I'll go right down into the camera so you can all see, like, so you can see it's just the edges. It's just the edges. And it's slowly but surely coming back. You can see there's a few baby hairs there as well. So yeah, I've just been attaching really light locks. So what we're going to do is next we're going to be working on the regrowth. So that's the next part of the journey, is getting rid of all of this regrowth that you can see around the front. But rather than, you know, doing the traditional way, look, there's another bit, look, you can see it's all matted, but you can see I can get my fingers through it. And as you can see, my fingers are quite shiny now, just because there is some scalp stimulator on there, and it's quite, tend to keep it covered so I don't rub the stuff that I've put on my scalp, so I don't rub it off onto the pillow or rub it off onto my face, and I don't get like grease marks basically. But that's the latest. I don't really wear it out too much because it just gets into everything, but yeah. So we're going to kind of monitor this one. This is like a benchmark of one that I've attached, and then we're going to do some interlocking, get rid of all this regrowth. We're going to tidy up the roots just a little bit, We're not going to go mad, and you know, where you're going to see every part and every scalp, you know, every part of my scalp and that sort of thing, each individual locks. We're just going to do some interlocking, tidy it up, and then I'm considering getting rid of some of the length. So I'm going to stand up so you can see how far down. Ouch! Don't normally bang my head. You can tell this is recorded live. We're not editing this out. This is real life. So yeah, so as you can see, it's kind of at my waist. There's my hips. So, just for the last part 3, let me know what you all think in regards to, should I trim some of it off, and when would you like to see the next update? Would you like to see how I will be learning to interlock my own locks, do a little bit of separating, and would you also like to see the supplements and the hair oils and the nourishment and the treatments and the tools and equipment that I've been using? And if that's the case, let me know and I will do an upload. So here we are for now. Thank you so much all for joining me for watching.